The first reactions to Donna Brazile's new book, Hacks, the inside story of the break-ins and breakdowns that put Donald Trump in the White House, might best be described as frantic, a tone that was defined by the timing as well as by the players involved. The book appeared on November 7, Election Day, and, a few days before, Brazile, who had served as the interim head of the Democratic National Committee during the 2016 presidential campaign, had published an advance excerpt in Politico about her investigation into whether the DNC had rigged the nomination process in favor of Hillary Clinton. It described her calling Senator Bernie Sanders, on September 7, 2016, after first lighting candles and listening to gospel music, and telling him, "I did find the cancer." That inspired this tweet from President Trump. The real story on collusion is in Donna B's new book. Crooked Hillary bought the DNC. Democrats had a fiery response, too, some because they saw the charges as unjust, some because the charges affirmed their disappointment, and others because they believed that, whatever Clinton's flaws might have been, Brazile's account pointlessly and unfairly divided the party's forces just as close races were being fought around the country, particularly the gubernatorial race in Virginia. Brazile said that her critics could go to hell. The fury dissipated, somewhat, when those elections went very well for the Democrats. Brazile wasn't a spoiler, after all. But she does have a story to tell that the Democrats shouldn't dismiss, if they intend to win the White House in 2020. The book is a fun read, if, at times, a strange one. There are a number of characters to whom Brazile assigns epithets. There is the spook, who once worked at an unnamed international organization and is her guide to the world of spying. Dolores, her alter ego, who takes over when she gets angry. Brooklyn, a collective name for top Clinton campaign officials, who keep stirring up Dolores. She does not like it when she thinks people are not being straight with her. And the damn duck, who comes into the story in August 2016, when Brazile begins getting frantic messages from the Walt Disney Company and its subsidiary ABC. That was how Brazile learned that the Clinton campaign, with the help of the DNC, had been dispatching people wearing Donald Duck costumes, with an added shock of upright orange hair, to Donald Trump rallies because, as she writes, Trump was ducking the release of his taxes. Haha, she is stunned by the idiocy of whoever thought this was a good idea, and sets out to retire the damn duck. After a frustrating day of emailing and calling, she finally gets Mark Elias, the Clinton campaign's chief lawyer, on the phone. The duck is the intellectual property of Disney. Brazile, or rather, at this point, Dolores, begins. Could sue us, okay? Do you want that story out there? Hillary's about to go to California to raise money and she's going to see Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, who is holding this fundraiser, and this is coming from him. What do you want him to do? Have him cancel the fundraiser? I know you all want that money. According to Brazile, Elias replied, Donna, this was Hillary's decision. A friend had suggested it, and she thought it was a great idea. Eventually, Brazile prevails and Elias gets rid of the duck. The great duck duel might play as a small farce in the large tragedy of Clinton's loss to Trump. But it also captures a great deal about what gives Brazile's book its vehemence, which occasionally veers into bitterness by illustrating a basic confusion of the campaign: who answers to whom, and who gets heard. When do personal or financial ties, to Brooklyn, to a friend, to a donor, get in the way of sound political decisions? Brazile herself is not exempt from such complications. When Charlie Baker, the Clinton campaign's chief administrative officer, asks why she even bothered with the duck, she says, I'm on leave from Walt Disney, which owns ABC. I'm an ABC contributor, and it's their duck. Indeed, she repeatedly writes that she would have preferred to stay in her perches at ABC and at CNN, where she was also a contributor. She was brought in as chair hastily, in July, as a replacement for Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, to quell unhappiness about emails hacked from the DNC's server that seemed to show that the party had favored Clinton in the primaries. It was supposed to remain neutral until there was a nominee. Another hack ended Brazile's relationship with CNN, when a message that appeared to be from her turned up among emails of the campaign chair, John Podesta, indicating that she had shared one of the network's questions with the campaign ahead of a town hall debate. Brazile apologized, though. Intriguingly, she says that she can't find the email in any of her accounts and seems uncertain about whether she actually sent it. Throughout the book, she sounds an alarm about Russian hacking, which she says is a worse threat than the public knows.